Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashta prayeshvavadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, Text 5. Rajovacha Najanami Mahabhaga Param Karma Pavidadi Bruhi Me Vimalam Jnanam Yena Mucheya Karmabi. Rajovacha Najanami Mahabhaga Param Karma Pavidadi Bruhi Me Vimalam Jnanam Yena Mucheya Karmabi. Rajovacha Najanami Mahabhaga Karam Karma Pavidadihi Bruhi Me Vimalam Jnanam Yena Mucheya Karmabi. Rajovacha Najanami Mahabhaga Param Karma Pavidadi me vimalam jnanam yena mucheya karmabhi Rajovacha Najanami Mahabhaga Karam Parma Pavidadi Bruhime Vimalam Jnanam Yena Mucheya Karmabhi Rajovacha Rajovacha. The king replied, Na, not. Janami, I know. Mahabhaga, O great soul. Param, transcendental. Karma, by fruitive activities. Apavita, being pierced. Dihi, my intelligence. Bruhi, please tell. Me, to me. Vimalam, spotless. Jnanam, knowledge. Yena, by which. Mucheya, I can get relief. Karmabhihi, from the fruitive activities. Translation. The king replied, O great soul, Narada, my intelligence is entangled in fruitive activities. Therefore, I do not know the ultimate goal of life. Kindly instruct me in pure knowledge, so that I can get out of the entanglement of fruitive activities. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shri Narottama Das Thakura has sung, Satsanga Chadikainu Asate Vilasa Tekarane Lagila Ye Karma Bandha Fansa. As long as a person is entangled in fruitive activities, he is bound to accept one body after another. This is called karma bandha fansa, entanglement in fruitive activities. It does not matter whether one is engaged in pious or impious activities, for both are causes for further entanglement in material bodies. By pious activities, one can take birth in a rich family and get a good education and a beautiful body. But this does not mean that the distresses of life are ultimately eliminated. In the Western countries, it is not unusual for one to take birth in a rich aristocratic family, nor is it unusual for one to have a good education and a very beautiful body. But this does not mean that Westerners are free from the distresses of life. Although at the present moment the younger generation in Western countries has sufficient education, beauty and wealth, and although there is enough food, clothing and facilities for sense gratification, they are in distress. Indeed, they are so distressed that they become hippies, and the laws of nature force them to accept a wretched life. Thus they go about unclean and without shelter or food, and they are forced to sleep in the street. It can be concluded that one cannot become happy by simply performing pious activities. It is not a fact that those who are born with a silver spoon in their mouth are free from the material miseries of birth, old age, disease, and death. The conclusion is that one cannot be happy by simply executing pious or impious activities. Such activities simply cause entanglement and transmigration from one body to another. Narottama Dasa Thakura calls this karma bandha phansa. King Prachinabarhishat admitted this fact and frankly asked Narada Muni how he could get out of this karma bandha phansa, entanglement in fruitive activities. This is actually the stage of knowledge indicated in the first verse of Vedanta Sutra, Atato Brahma Jinyasa. When one actually reaches the platform of frustration in an attempt to discharge karma bandha phansa, he inquires about the real value of life, which is called Brahma Jinyasa. In order to inquire about the ultimate goal of life, the Vedas, Mundaka Upanishad 11-12, enjoin Tat Vikyana Nartam Sagurum Eva Bhikachet. In order to understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. King Prachinabarhishat found the best spiritual master, Narada Muni, and he therefore asked him about that knowledge by which one can get out of the entanglement of karma bandha phansa, fruitive activities. This is the actual business of human life. Jivasya tattva jinyasa narto chascheha karmabhi. As stated in the second chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1-10, a human being's only business is inquiring from a bona fide spiritual master about extrication from the entanglement of karma bandha phansa. Om Akyana Timirandasya Kyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So good morning everyone, welcome to this Srimad Bhagavatam class. I am allowed to give a class, and I bless your blessings because I need your blessings to maybe speak something that is valuable for you. But I will keep it very tight to the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So when we read that verse, I will read the translation again. Those who are interested only in a so-called no, this is the wrong verse, sorry. The king replied, O great soul, Narada, my intelligence is entangled in fruitive activities. Therefore, I do not know the ultimate goal of life. Kindly instruct me in pure knowledge so that I can get out of the entanglement of fruitive activities. So in the verse before, Narada Muni asked King Prachinabarhishat, why do you desire to perform these fruitive activities? And here the king, first of all, he admits that he is entangled in fruitive activities. And this is actually the first step oh, I am entangled in fruitive activities and I don't know the ultimate goal of life. And actually this is also something that we should realize, that, oh, I am really entangled in fruitive activities. I try to do spiritual life. I try to chant Hare Krishna. I try to perform devotional service, to follow everything. But actually I'm still in Maya. I'm still entangled. I'm still doing fruitive activities. I have personal desires. And actually there is a fine line between entanglement and to be in Maya and devotional life or surrender. Yeah, when I observe it in my own life, for example, for me it was now these days quite obvious that if I'm living in the temple, then I'm more protected. I have this protection to be more in devotional service. And if I'm living too much outside, then it's like more Maya. And it doesn't mean that this is for everyone like this, because it's for every devotee is actually different. Something may mean entanglement for one devotee, and something else can mean this is Krishna service for another devotee. And actually we can measure it by the happiness in the heart. And it's not the same like material happiness, but really the satisfaction in the heart to feel some bliss, some kind of, I'm happy to do that service. And this is actually because we make Krishna happy, then we become ourselves happy. And here Srila Prabhupada, he says that it doesn't matter if you are engaged in pious or impious activities. You have anyway, if you are entangled, you have to accept a new material body, a new birth. And impious activity we may understand, because impious activity means sinful life. It means, for example, to measure it, not to keep the four regulative principles. So if I'm not keeping the four regulative principles, I can understand I am acting impiously. And pious act, and of course this doesn't lead us to liberation or to Krishna service, devotional service. And pious activity, which means helping others, there is this example often given of building hospitals or to be there for others. This is nice, but when it's not connected with Krishna, it just results in good karma. And this good karma is here, Srila Prabhupada describes, is the result is that we are born in a rich family, in an aristocratic family sometimes, that we have a good education and a beautiful and healthy body. And he says that actually a lot of people have this in the Western countries. And actually in Switzerland, for example, we can we can see that this doesn't make one happy. We may have a good karma, but this is not the ultimate happiness. And in Western countries, in Switzerland, is seen. It is one of the richest country. It is. We can have access to very good education. People are beautiful. People are in a good state of, and still they are not happy. When, for example, you go in the morning to the bus and you watch the people, they have really like stone faces. They are really unhappy. And if you make the mistake to to speak a little loud or to laugh at this time in the bus, then they are disturbed. So this shows they are really not happy. They are going to work, but they are doing fruitive activities. They are not happy. And we heard that before also in some other classes, that the suicide rate in Switzerland is very high. It's actually the highest in the world. So how is this possible? So much richness, so much education is there, beauty is there, beautiful nature is there, still no happiness. And there is also a lot of mental diseases, mental problems are very prominent in Switzerland. The mental hospitals are full, and the psychiatric doctor are really, it's really difficult to get a psychiatric doctor in Switzerland because they are all too busy, and also the nurses and all the doctors in general are very busy. So yes, we are not free from disease, from birth, from death, from old age. We are not free from these 4 defects of life. And Srila Prabhupada, he explains that the young people here, of course, in the early 60s and 70s, they were very frustrated by the lifestyle of their parents, because they could see they are engaging in materialism and wanting to get more money, more education, to be proud of their children, but there are no other values. And to get out of this, they made actually the opposite. So they started to live in the street, to live poorly, to not wash themselves anymore, to grow their hair long, to have free sex, to have a lot of intoxication. And this is not the way to do the opposite of something that is difficult for us, because this is still in the duality inside. So Srila Prabhupada came and he gave the process of Krishna consciousness, and he explained how to connect with Krishna and how to serve Krishna to really become happy and to really get out of this fruitive entanglement. Yeah, and here he is mentioning in the purport also the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-10. Kamasanendriya pritir labo jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jignasa nartoyasceha karmavi. And the translation is, life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's work. The completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards the fulfillment of desires in sense gratification. In such civilization, in all spheres of life, the ultimate end is sense gratification. In politics, social service, altruism, philanthropy, and ultimately in religion or even in salvation, the very same tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. In the political field, the leaders of man fight with one another to fulfill their personal sense gratification. The voters adore the so-called leaders only when they promise sense gratification. As soon as the voters are dissatisfied in their own sense satisfaction, they dethrone the leaders. The leaders must always disappoint the voters by not satisfying their senses. The same is applicable in all other fields. No one is serious about the problems of life. Even those who are on the path of salvation desire to become one with the absolute truth and desire to commit spiritual suicide for sense gratification. I found this point very interesting, that actually those who want the Mayavadis who want to merge with the Supreme Personality, they want to enjoy. It's a sense gratification. I want to enjoy more, I want to become blissful, but they don't know how to really become blissful, and that's why they want to merge. And if they merge with the Brahmajyoti, then they have a chance to get out again. So, but if they really want to merge with the body of Krishna, then this is really spiritual suicide, because you actually don't come out again. Yeah. So here, King Prachina Barishat, first of all, he admits his situation. Okay, I am entangled in fruitive activities. And then the fruitive activities, they lead to disappointment and to frustration. And then there is the inquiry about the meaning and the purpose of life. Who am I? What is the meaning of this life? What am I doing here? What is the goal? And then the Vedas said we should tatvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te kyanam kyaninas tatvadarshinaha. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai, Shishi Gornitai ki jai. Yeah, that we should accept the spiritual master and inquire submissively from him, ask him questions about life, and to serve him. And that in that way we make advancement in spiritual life. And Gaur Govinda Swami, he's stressing the point that actually the worst offense of the 10 offenses against the holy name is to not follow the instructions of the spiritual master. And we may think, I personally was thinking the worst offense is that to commit sinful activities and in the strength of the holy name, that you believe that the holy name will help you out of the sins. But he says, no, the worst offense is to not follow the instructions of the spiritual master. And why? Because the spiritual master can exactly tell us what is fruitive activity and what is devotional service. He can give us this instruction. For example, if one may say, oh, I want to become a counselor. I want to become, for example, an Ayurvedic doctor, let's say. So, is it right to do that or not? The spiritual master will tell yes or no. If he says yes, do that. You can help the devotees by that. You can help other people to become Krishna conscious to your work. Then it's actually, then it's bona fide, and then it's a devotional activity. But when we do it whimsically, just out of, I want to do it, and the spiritual master say, no, you should live in the temple, then of course we have a problem, because then we are entangled in material activity. Actually, it's quite simple, but it sounds simple, but it's actually not so easy to always follow what the spiritual master is telling. But that's why we should accept a spiritual master which we really trust and then really follow. And also when it's really becoming really difficult in life, when sometimes we cannot always follow this path, and we are sometimes discouraged, but then to really ask, what shall I do, and to follow that, this is actually the way. So, and Srila Prabhupada is mentioning twice Narottam Das Thakur. We have Saturday is the appearance day of Narottam Das Thakur, and here he mentions this song, which I found in the Prarthana, and maybe you can, Lucas, you can maybe give it to the devotees. One I keep for myself. So he says, I will read the translation. I have invited my spiritual death by not worshipping Lord Chaitanya. I have neglected and lost the treasure of transcendental love. I was engaged in useless things, and I have given up valuable things. I am going down and down by my misdeeds. By giving up the association of devotees, I desired useless things. I was associating with non-devotees, therefore I was bound in fruitive activities. I have drunk the most dangerous poison of sense gratification. I could not merge myself into the Sankirtana movement started by Lord Chaitanya. Why am I alive? What happiness do I gain? Why did Narottama Dasa not die long ago? You have some cartels? Yeah, please. We try to sing it together, no? Because this is. Yeah, the beginning is a little different, but then it's yeah. Gaurapano Nabachiyamainu. Na, ich muss höher anfangen. Gaurapano Nabachiyamainu Premaradana Dana Helaya Harainu Gaurapano Nabachiyamainu Premaradana Dana Helaya Harainu Adane Jatana Kari Danate Yagino Apana Karamadoshe Apani Dubino Adane Jatana Kari Danate Yagino Apana Karamadoshe Apani Dubino Satsanga Chadi Kainu Asate Vilasa Te Karane Lagila Ye Karma Banda Fansa Satsanga Chadi Ainu Asate Vilasa Te Karane Lagila Ye Karma Banda Fansa Vishaya Vishama Visha Satata Kainu Gora Kirtana Rasa Magana Nahainu Vishaya Shama Visha Satata Kainu Gora Kirtana Rasa Magana Nahainu Kenaba Chaye Prana Kisukapai Narottama Dasa Kena Nagela Maria Kenaba Chaye Prana Kisukapai Narottama Dasa Kena Nagela Maria. And the song is called Akshepa, Regret. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he is lamenting. And Srila Prabhupada is saying that he's actually not lamenting, but he's representing us. And if one comes to that point of lamentation, this is very nice, Srila Prabhupada says. And this is exactly what happens in that verse, that the king, Prachina Barishat, he is repenting, he is lamenting. And then one becomes immediately purified. Lamentation means purification. So he's saying, why am I living? I do not make association with the devotees. I do not take part in the Sankirtana movement. I do not understand what is Krishna. I do not understand what is Lord Chaitanya. Then what am I living for? Why did I not die long, long ago? I should have died. What is the meaning of my living? So not only Narottam Das Thakur should lament like this, but everyone should think like that. If we cannot make association with devotees, if we can not understand what Krishna consciousness is, if we do not come in touch with Lord Chaitanya and his associates, it will be better for us to die. And there is no other remedy. This is the substance of this song. So this is quite a strong statement, actually, because it's, actually, if we don't come to this devotional service, to this path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us, that actually life is useless, because we are just coming again and again and again and again. So better to come out of that, and better to take this chance, this one life, which is very precious. And I just want to say something short also about today. Today is Ekadashi, Baimi Ekadashi. It's also called Jaya Ekadashi, and there is a story behind it. When Sri Krishna was speaking with King Yudhishthir, Yudhishthir was asking tell me something about Baimi Ekadashi, and Krishna was telling him the story that actually one time Indra, he arranged a huge festival, a dance festival, and there were 50 millions of apsaras dancing. Apsaras are these beautiful ladies in the heavenly planets, amazingly beautiful, and there were Gandharvas singing, and there was one Gandharva singer, his name was Malyavan, and there was a Gandharvi, an Apsara, a beautiful lady named Pushpavati. And both, they were very handsome, and somehow Pushpavati noticed Malyavan, and she tried to pierce him by sharp arrows, by glances and by gestures, and she was pierced by the sharp arrows of Kamadev, and he also, Malyavan also, and somehow they were falling in love with each other, but they had to dance. They had to perform this dance with the others. And they were dancing, they were trying, but because they were looking at each other all the time, somehow they were doing wrong steps, and they were falling out of the concept. And King Indra, he saw that, and he could understand what's happening, and he was so angry. And he said, "You disturbed the whole performance. This is really awful, and I curse you now. You have to become ghosts." So they immediately became ghosts. They had to take birth on the earth, and they were born as ghosts, a male ghost and a female ghost, in the caves of the Himalaya. And there they were, they were there, and it was a very frustrating life. And they were going around as ghosts, and one day they were really lamenting about their situation. Why have we become ghosts? What kind of sinful activities did we perform to become these ghosts? And they were actually lamenting the whole day. And they were not able to do a lot of sense gratification as ghosts because they had not the sense of touch, they could not sleep properly, but still they could have eaten something. But on that day they did not eat anything, they did not eat any roots or anything, or no water, and that they did not kill anyone, because as ghosts, sometimes you kill. And so they didn't kill anyone, and they were in this cave lamenting. And somehow this day was Baimi Ekadashi. And Lord Vishnu became so pleased by their renunciation that they were freed immediately, and they could come back to the heavenly planet, to Lord Indra. And Lord Indra saw them and said, "Wow, you are already here. You are here again. What happened?" And then Malyavan was explaining, we were performing Baimi Ekadashi, and we were fasting and lamenting, and we were somehow pleasing Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Indra became very happy, and he said, "Oh, I have to bow down before you because you pleased Lord Vishnu. And so I give you all respects, and you can live again here in my kingdom and live happily together and enjoy." And so they were happy again. And actually, so when one who observes this Baimi Ekadashi or Jaya Ekadashi, they are different. What it's taking away the sins of killing a brahmana, and it has the same merit like giving in charity or performing sacrifice or visiting holy places. And one who performs this Ekadashi, he will live, this is more interesting for us, he will live in Vaikuntha forever. So we are fasting today until noon at least, so for tomorrow Varadev's appearance day. So So thank you very much for your attention, and if you want to add something or to share something, please feel free.
You mentioned in purport for this bhajan that it is better to die for us than live without attaining all this which in bhajan. And I'm sorry, I just was I don't understand whose comment is
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada,
yes. Srila Prabhupada.
Yes. So it's like for me it's like I heard from Bhaktivinoda Thakur that we know that our health is most important in our sadhana, and that means that this body of human life, human form of life, is very important to achieve all of this. So do you have some thoughts about this? Несоответствие, как перевести? Несоответствие. Ну, как мне кажется, что это несоответствие. Как на английском это сказать? It looks like
contradiction.
Contradiction, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Actually it doesn't mean we should die or we should commit suicide in human form of life. Of course, we should keep healthy, and we should taking this birth very serious. That is the point, and this is a deep lamentation of Narottam Das Thakur. He's deeply lamenting, and he's speaking out of a deep realization, and Srila Prabhupada as well. This is a deep realization, and it doesn't mean that human life in itself is not valuable. It has a value, and if the soul really wants to make progress, but the real progress is really to get in touch with this movement. And yeah, we should keep ourselves healthy, and this comes even before sadhana and before seva, but this is to perform sadhana and to perform seva. We should keep ourselves healthy. If we just want to be healthy and to enjoy, then it has no value, no meaning. But of course it doesn't mean that one should commit suicide. No, he should going on and try to, one day he gets the mercy of a devotee. Hopefully that's why we are going out and spread the movement. Yeah, I hope. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I think sometimes also we have to do more and to learn